Sees the hump.
It's alright, guys. We're just turning the pack on.
That's a tricky map. Like, Fire should know this map pretty well from the qualifiers.
Absolutely.
And Fire is playing one of the second qualifier maps. Sees the hump here. And I think TaToH could go for something crazy like persons here.
Let's have a look.
Eldorado.
Pretty much the most common ban we've seen thus far.
Ban
That and sees the hump.
No, I ban now. I ban Grape Jars. And Tide Pool.
Interesting. For me, those are TaToH maps.
And you have to ban one.
Yeah.
And pick one.
Look at how TaToH is taking everything in control. You're doing this, I'm doing this, and let's go. He has a clear plan here.
All going to plan.
He banned.
I ban.
There we go.
Oh, fine.
Then Madness.
Okay.
Alright.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy do you think Fire is at the moment?
How?
And
Happy.
Ooh, a solid 3 out of 10. He looks so deep in
Great.
concentration, though it might be that.
He kind of needs a 3-0 today.
Look, it's definitely doable. He's a remarkable player, but TaToH's not going to let him just have it.
No.
Could be rehydration.
Rehydration. That to end it off. And we'll get the draft. We can say them that TaToH hosts the draft.
Awesome.
Felix, man, focus.
It's like Fire's 5th match.
We know this.
Is he still asleep?
Everyone should have this system down by now.
Like he was like 12 hours ago. He was still here in training.
Looks like we've got the link, so we can jump in and see exactly what's going to happen now.
Who's running around there?
I
Oh,
think this is the
Viper's
wrong
watch.
ones. Please wait.
What?
It's not working, I guess. For me, just a second.
Just getting the draft going, guys. Civ picks will be on the way. For those that don't know, 7 Civs are picked, 2 banned by each player.
Oh yeah.
At least for today. Tomorrow we will advance the series from best of 9 to from best of 5 to best of 9s.
It's going to be intense days. And I can't wait. The game level is going to be amazing. So
Hey,
much
it's
more
too- it's too
opportunity
good
to
for
come
you.
back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Viper allowed to be there during the draft? He was getting his watch and left.
Viper, man.
I will allow that.
Handing over a secret spreadsheet.
Yeah. Chinese. Kind of a weird one. Is that only for Arabia? It feels like it, right? Instant Mayans, Aztecs. This should be
Expected.
Indians now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No surprises. Remember that from tomorrow on, we only have 1 ban. So we kind of have to see either Mayans or Aztecs.
That's it. We get a little bit more variety out of it. No matter what they pick.
Yeah. And way more civilizations. So like from tomorrow on, Khmer and Portuguese might be standard.
I'm just excited to see. This is basically going to get flipped on its head.
Yeah.
This has been the standard kind of fair stage to make sure everyone's going to get through, do their best. Then it gets flipped around. We get to see all these intense matchups.
And so much more like tricky scenarios that they will be picked in, more maps, and yeah, just
We don't make it easy.
yeah. And then it's also like, yeah, what map do you want to ban? What is your home map against the opponent? It will be really tricky. And now 3 Metal Civs from Fire to begin with.
He's going to get Eagle Warriors at some point.
TaToH needs some counter against that. I think something like Celts could be pretty good. Berbers
Absolutely.
could be his civilizations, kind of to counter that mass eagle approach. Although he bans Aztecs Mayans anyway, so it's only 1 mass eagle civ left.
That's it. What have we got? Franks, Slavs, Huns, and Celts all on the board now as well.
I
Very common civs.
I like Huns and Mongols together. That's good for Flooded Cross and Prairie. TaToH isn't really going for a rehydration civ per se yet. Like, it's actually Indians.
Yeah, he's got Indians there, so he's got the option.
I think I could like something like Malians or Malay.
Bang on.
Malians?
Fire getting Japanese there at the end as well. And one more left for TaToH, then we've got Fire on the final pick.
That's really on for both of them. And you see TaToH like scanning the civilizations there, looking at his eyes.
He's finding the counters.
He still doesn't know.
He's a smart man.
For sure. Oh, timer going down. If 30-second countdown is done, Berbers. Ah, the Berbers counter against. Oh, but
Awesome. But no Huns, no Mongols for Fire though.
And what do I have left? Spanish could be. No, the maps are too open for Spanish here. Flooded Cross. I actually don't mind Portuguese, but I'm a Portuguese fanboy.
Look, they've proved themselves in the 2 matchups they've been in.
Could we say Magias?
Spanish.
Nah, I don't like that. Kind of has to be Spanish on rehydration. You just die to it. Oh well, what against? What do you really die against? Ah, it's not that bad. You're kind of facing. Interesting. So we are ready for bans. We are ready for your bans.
Alright, the next level of strategic element.
You do.
Shouldn't it be Fire. It has to be Indians, right?
Indians.
There we go.
Just like by far the best
Okay,
civilization.
Mayans, Aztecs.
Mayans, Aztecs, no
The
surprises
1-2.
there. That will obviously change from tomorrow on. We will see some more of those civilizations. Chinese was pick number 1. Not sure if it has to be the ban here. I think it's not too bad to play Chinese here. Kind of obvious choice for Arabia.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe for Prairie? No, he has Huns and Mongols. That's fine. Will be Chinese, so he doesn't need to ban the first one here. It could be a Slavs ban. See fire.
Taking that time, look at the concentration.
Mongols.
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. What do you think about Mongols ban?
Mongols. Look, strong Civ, we all know that, but there's nothing... I guess he's got a little bit he can kind of try and abuse that hunt bonus with, but nothing too insane. Like, there's no coast to mountain level hunt, but...
Well, it's still the strongest Civ for Prairie,
True.
but Hans is just following there. You aren't really destroying any plants. Seize the hump, Malian play, Prairie Huns, Flooded Cross, rehydration. Like, I don't see TaToH. Maybe change his plans a bit. And now they're preparing their files, like, this is the map, this is what I want to go for, this is my plan here, and, well, they're taking off the microphones. You can mute those two as well.
Which one was they we were looking at? 2 and 6?
2 and 6, yes, indeed. And we can only hear ourselves from here on. And I will even try to do all the fancy stuff over here. Welcome back. And so, who do you think has the overall better position here?
Alright, so what have we got from TaToH? We've got Chinese, Huns, Slavs, Malians, Berbers. From Fire, Inca, Franks, Celts, Japanese, Spanish. Look, Fire's got at least one of the mesos, so I guess he's got the option for Eagle Warriors behind that. Franks, as we know, very, very strong Civ as well. But Land Madness is out, where they've pretty much got their strongest play thanks to the forage bushes. So I'm kind of leaning towards TaToH personally. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's pretty rare that someone gets his first pick through, right? That most of the time indicates that you have a good Civ advantage in that one, but also, like, since we have seen so many 1-2 bans, you're kind of only planning with your remaining Civs. I think Incas aren't that crazy. I don't really see Spanish performing too crazy on those maps as well. What can be like Seize the Ham, not really an option. Flooded Cross to open. Prairie, they're, I believe, really bad. Because you need to go for heavy army. So rehydration is the only option. Maybe it's just Chinese against... Is he playing Chinese on rehydration? Not really. No,
no,
that
I
would be
wouldn't assume
horrible.
so.
No, that's horrible. Interesting. And you see both of them still very focused, thinking about the upcoming matches. I wonder if we get into the longer series, how much time they will take. Just thinking about that.
Awesome. Just giving the players the heads up. We're good to go when they are. And hopefully we get a game launched pretty much straight away and we can be into the action and all the deliberating turns into fact.
I'm excited for that. To remember, guys, let's take a look for the last time at the potential stats. We are here at the last day of the group stage. TaToH, he is top 6 unless he loses, DauT wins, and Nicov wins. Or he loses 3-0 here and Nicov wins. Fire himself, obviously exactly the other format. So TaToH could be, I believe, 4th, 5th, or 7th, or something like that.
Potentially 7th.
Yeah, and actually we even have a scenario on here that Nicov could actually get 2nd as well if we have 4 super weird matchups, like he's beating MBL, DauT is beating Liereyy, and Fire is winning or something, then Nicov can still get 2nd, but I didn't even list that one.
There's a lot of math going on, a lot of math, and there's a lot of potential options at the moment. But basically, Fire's looking for a victory here.
Yeah, like it's his last chance, right? He was already pretty disappointed yesterday. Kind of like before we went through the stats, he kind of accepted that he's out of the tournament, and chances are looking slim, right?
That's it, but he's also probably one of the people that
We
we've
are
seen
ready.
doing some of the most practicing. And he's been doing
I
a
can do the
great
scoreboard,
job
yeah.
holding on to that.
Okay, so overlay guy is taking a break. I'm not really sure why.
What?
So does he think like 14 hours a day of work is enough?
Oh, man, some people.
Lazy.
All right, let's do this thing. Would you like to introduce the players, or would you like me to?
I would love to listen to your voice for that.
Absolutely. If that's the case, we do have TaToH in the blue playing as the Slavs towards the north of the map. Over down towards the south in the red, we do have Fire playing as the Incas.
Oh god, and when you say Fire this way, I can feel it burn a bit here.
That's it. We're getting excited. This is only game 1 of the matchup, and we've got potential for all 5 games here, I think.
Yeah, well, for me, TaToH is the heavy favorite, but as we know, Fire, he is having problems. Oh, what are the cameras? Jordy, look at that.
And we have Jordan versus TaToH.
I didn't unmute. Okay, I will switch the cameras here. That's a funny one.
That's actually a great shot of Jordan as well. That actually makes my day. I hope he's out there getting a look at that one. That's Jordan in true Jordan spirit. But both players at the moment, so we're on Arabia, which is essentially the home map here. Basically what everyone's going to have to deal with from the start of the actual positioning itself. Looking out at the maps, we've got Fire. Not looking too bad. He's got some woods to kind of work with here. And it looks like his goal is going to be a little bit forward, but that's probably the worst situation he's going to run into.
Oh man, this is so sick. So
Jordan.
that's game player number right one, and we just deactivate and activate that cam, and then.
But that's the kind of picture you have on your mantle. That's a very nice picture of Jordan.
Oh man, yeah, and his smile, well, it's adding just so much, and I think it should be loading up. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Did we just?
One sec, guys. We'll have everything sorted.
Good that the overlay guy ran away.
The moment he runs away.
Huh. I will give you a view log so at least something is happening in the background.
We can have a look. So TaToH is getting his first bore in, which is kind of to be expected. He's got his main berries towards the south there. He's got his gold over towards the east and lumber camp as well. So going to make it a little bit easier to defend, but could run into the issue where it gets a little bit too cluttered. So a couple of big decisions for him to make here, really. Looking quite open towards the east in front there, but where's that villager heading out? Looks like he's going to pull in the second bore, and TaToH, but Fire has actually called the Re. Not happy with the map by the looks of things. So basically, all this is for nothing, and you've lost no minutes of content there, guys. We'll have the webcam ready to go, and no one's missed out on anything, but Fire deciding this is probably the one to call the Re on. First game in the series always makes it a little bit harder, but as we've said, Fire's had some tough luck throughout the tournament, and I think it's very much in his best interest that he does manage to get into the best position, get into a good mindset from the first game, and really be ready to kind of push this one for a victory.
Yeah, Fire, like, he didn't really look like he took the game too seriously the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Looking at the webcam.
Having a little bit of a relax, I guess, but
No,
Jordan,
I meant like the
I
Jordan face
know, I'm
before.
getting in there, relaxing, mantle picture, swapping out with Jordan even. I don't know if that's in the rulebook or not.
Oh man. Okay, so that is fixed now, and I think we need to find a better solution than always switching the cable in between games. Yeah.
Those technical difficulties will get you, but that's the restart called by Fire. Each player only having a single one for this matchup, so don't forget that, guys. Fire has used it. TaToH still does have the option, should he choose to use it.
True. Okay,
Fire
so
taking his top off got censored by Jordan.
Slavs against Incas. So he is indeed saving Chinese for something else. I don't see it for Seize the Hump. Don't really like it too much for Flooded Cross. Is it on Prairie? That's weird for TaToH, but well, we will see what his plan is. Now jumping into game number 1. Try number 2.
Let's have a look and see what we've got going on here this time. We do have TaToH towards the north of the map, or northwest I should say, and on top of that here is the Slavs in the blue, which you already understand from the fact we've had the restart. Towards the south in the red playing as the Incas, we do have Spire, and man, this is a close kind of spawn.
It is a close spawn indeed, and look at that, all the resources here in the center. TaToH has a safe gold at the top, but look at all the resources here. Stone, gold, stone, gold, 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 stone, TC,
This matters
house,
so
house,
much. Everything is literally within about 2 screens here. Every resource Fire has to work with, and at least, man, does TaToH have the back gold there actually? Has he got a little bit of a small win? He does indeed, and looks like TaToH going for the lame actually, how quickly his scout's moving out.
Yeah, he's trying to find something. Scouts the main gold, and he should be shocked. Like, is that my main gold? No, it just has to be too far away. And he scouted that one as well. Knows that this is his, and he knows this is going to be a wild game, which typically should favor Incas here.
Absolutely, and Fire looks like he's potentially going for the lame as well, but due to the spawn, going to be a little bit late on that one as well. So both players looking to get off to a good start here. Whether TaToH just kind of ventured a little bit further than he was expecting, I don't know if that's the option there, because he is already heading home. But Fire, if he keeps heading this direction, he's going to have a little bit of trouble in the early game.
Oh yeah, well, is it really going to be trouble? He scouted one boar at the front. He's scouting some extra sheep. Where is the other boar for him? It's over here, and it is.
He knows where they're both at. That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, now let's take a look. Fire, he didn't really see any indicators that TaToH has to be far away from here, right? The cliff, not really telling him too much. Now is scouting a relic. That means
no one nearby.
Cannot be super close here, but is he really in that left-hand side corner? Kind of unlikely as well.
Well, that's it. It's been such a peculiar spawn. The players just being so close here, it makes it a little bit harder to scout out. Obviously, with the extra line of sight on the Eagle Warrior, it makes things a little bit easier, but at the same time, it's basically, does he go down towards the south or does he go down towards the north now? It's basically a 50-50 pick. The relics will give him a little bit of a heads up, but not too much apart from that.
And is he going back? Feels like that could be an option, but no, he just goes to the other side, tries to find some more information there, builds the mill one tile away, still cannot really get the farms around it. What are the strategy choices we are expecting from those two players?
So obviously feudal from there. Everyone was looking like they wanted to go for the lane, but I don't think it's going to happen just because it's getting very, very late now. Both players can be able to pull their boar in quite similarly, so we should be there without any kind of too abrupt play. Obviously, Incas, look, the Eagle Swarm's always nice when you do get up into it. The fact they can get, you know, slingers behind that as well is really nice for them, but in fact, I may have spoken too soon. TaToH hasn't found his boar, and Fire's actually right there looking for it, and snags the 2 sheep as well. We'll go for the steal on them.
Yeah, but that's 2 for 2, right? Just an exchange. Let's take a look. The boar's still out there. TaToH might find it by accident. No, he already saw it. It was out of vision when we checked it, but it's all good for him.
Excellent. Fire, of course, trying to scare off that scout. Wants to get the lame on the villager, but TaToH having none of that. Going to use the sheep around the eagle as well, because he doesn't want to lose control. And potentially going to try and get the block here, but looks like he might just be in a little bit of a play around here for as long as possible.
And he's taking a lot of HP away from that scout. It's now trying to go for the block. Remember that we already have loom, scouts, or sheep now in control.
He does have the hill working for the boar, though.
Oh yeah, and that's a nice block here. TaToH in some troubles.
Come on, kill it with the eagle. That's going to hurt. Not what you want to see at the start of a match. Could potentially put TaToH in a little bit of a worse mood here to really kind of get him into the groove for the set. Not what you want to see on your second boar of the match.
Oh god, and what could TaToH have done differently? He was attacking the eagle with the scout.
He had loom.
He had loom. That was kind of fine for him, but still beautiful block here by Fire. And players have been saying that it completely is different when it comes to blocking and microing with 0 lag.
And that's the reason this has been so effective. We've seen so many good plays across this, and it looks like TaToH might have decided, look, that boar at the moment, let's not worry about it, get our play going, and then think about it later, or may potentially even ditch out on it entirely.
Look at that. He is going for gold at the front. And yeah, it is far away, but don't you feel like a barracks more in the open could have been better? It's not really functioning as a wall now.
Not really. Well, that's the thing. It's given him that inner layer, but how much is it really helping? The militia will be able to push away that Eagle Scout now, and look at that. We'll get the boar lure. At 8 minutes 30, though, looking like by the timing.
And TaToH with a nice move here. Saw the Eagle, is now going for the boar, as you said. Eagle will try to block, but shouldn't really get anything done. Meanwhile, let's take a look if the militia are getting anything done.
Alright, so militia are moving forward for TaToH. We do have a quick wall in, or I should just say a wall in for Fire there. Didn't happen particularly quickly, but he was there. He knew it was coming, so good preparation from him. Does start walling in the lumber camp as well towards the town center, so anything will have to push past there. So Fire playing this one pretty defensively, not looking like he wants to take any chances.
Goes for 4 men-at-arms even. This is going to be interesting. The house here, another palisade here. TaToH shouldn't really do much. He is not up to fuel age, and he's only quote-unquote 2 villages ahead. That's not a lot. Men-at-arms, they aren't even trying to defend this. He is going for the attack, and TaToH, he needs to be walled.
He's already taken the precautions towards his lumber count towards the south of his base there, which is good to see. TaToH, though, trying to get the engagement here, but look, those palisade walls, we know how they repair. I don't think he's going to be getting through it anytime soon. Obviously, as long as he remembers to repair, should be good, but Fire already up to feudal, and TaToH, we haven't even seen. In fact, right as I say it, he begins to click up.
Yeah, and 12:28 timing here will not be in time. And look at that. Sneaky Fire already prepared 3 villagers. And this is going to be so tough for TaToH. He needs to move out to the top. Oi, oi, oi. Can he hold this? He surely can't see it.
Oh, well, that's it. He's not going to be able to put up the defensive tower. You've got the little hill there as well, so even more of an advantage. So that's going to work out very well. And then he's walled in, so he's obviously scared of the fact we've got militia walking around. Can be men-at-arms very shortly if he does decide to. And apart from that, he's got his gold towards the back, which is also walled in. I don't think I saw Fire starting to take stone, though, so this looks like it should be his first tower, and I don't think we're going to see another one, so this tower has to do work.
Yeah, but I think it will. Look at that. I think he should have even finished the mill here.
Men-at-arms are in the way, ready to go as well.
Oh, now inside of the tower, needs to block the left-hand side, instantly sees it, but villagers are getting out.
Here's the block.
Uh-oh, that Eagle, he's so good at that. We have seen that before.
No.
Beautiful move again.
Fire! You are showing your prowess. All those practice hours have been really helping him out here. There's 0 lag. Does he get a second?
Oh boy,
he loses the
oh
Eagle,
boy.
but gets a second behind this as well. That's 3 villages down already for TaToH. No damage to Fire whatsoever. However, that mining camp deleted and out of there. Defensive tower coming up at home. Oh, sorry, aggressive tower
take
from
a
TaToH.
look. Reblocks now over here, and we see that happening indeed. What a beautiful move after beautiful move here. And are those villagers getting home? It seems like TaToH is misblocking it. Fire a bit better. Can we get the kill?
Oh,
yes.
TaToH knows this game. He's played it a long time, and look, that's what we saw there. Potentially even going to get the kill on the villager here, and goes for the block, and it's perfect. The revenge is sweet.
Indeed, I didn't see that coming. Fire saw it coming from quite some time, right? He was leaving the mining camp, tried to get out, and still lost 2 villagers. That was kind of sloppy play on the woodline here.
Oh, man, I gotta say, I like it when it evens up like this so quickly. Good revenge from both players, or revenge from TaToH anyway. Fire just the aggressor in this situation.
Okay, now trying to go for the stone over here. Not too much happening. I still feel like I wanted to see a kill on that mill, only at 190 HP before reaching fuel age, so could do some damage. And oh, TaToH, he has a plan now.
What have we got? So trying to take out the barracks there, opening up the walls a little bit, denying that woodline. Woodline, of course, up in the south there for Fire as well, so he's not completely starved, but did have to relocate a couple of those villages, had to get the extra lumber camp up. But TaToH, those villagers are staying at the front there. 1 archer from Fire is all it takes, however, to knock down those walls. TaToH's going to have to delete them and get out of there, and those men-at-arms might even potentially get a kill here as well. And man, I thought he was using the archer to block there for a second, and I got so excited.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense, right? The men-at-arms are the damage dealers at the moment. Oh, misclicking here. Why is he trying to go for that mining camp?
That could have been another potential kill, and I guess Fire's dealing with something back home at the moment, and that's exactly what's happening. The men-at-arms coming through, having to fight with his villagers. Did pick off one on the way through the town center, but, oh, the uphill fight as well. Not what you want. losing one villager there against the Man-at-Arms, and all the Man-at-Arms still surviving. This has been a brutally aggressive game from the beginning.
Oh, and he lets
More.
those in. This is so evil.
Oh,
Those Men
no.
Arms, not with the highest HPs, but look at how many idols he's forcing.
Oh, and if he fights the high ground fight as well, or is it he's just going to try and trail them, that's half of Fire's economy. And all still idle.
Oh,
And the
God.
downhill fight as well. There's another villager dead. That'll be at least one more.
Oh god, I'm not sure which one killed. It was like all four chilling there, and suddenly the villager was dying, but still. Oh god.
And is that another one that's trapped?
Don't
There's another
tell
one
me
that's trapped.
another
Fire
one.
must be having a... man, he must be not feeling this right now. There's another villager down. We're currently looking at 27 to 31. Tried to do the damage back home to TaToH where he could, but couldn't find it. TaToH's defensive play just so strong.
Okay, finally, Fire. with
In
the
range
bonus-
of the other tower.
I like that. Kind of trying to fight this down. Villagers around here. Can we maybe see some kills? The villagers at front kind of unprotected, but TaToH's eco isn't looking great either.
That's it. Everything is so clumped up. He's lost a lot of his space due to that one tower from Fire. Really effective play from him. And here comes the garrison on the tower, so we will be into the tower fight now for the lumber camp. Killed off by Fire. Or
How
killed off
ugly
by
this is.
TaToH.
This is actually a spot where I feel, with that amount of villagers sent on one lumber camp, where you can build it one tile away. To just have it. Oh, he's squeezing through over here as well. But
What?
might have been just let's see.
Again, so many idols.
I was sure that would have been walled off and they just run away, but apparently it was open and now finally cleared off here. Tries to fight that one down, but TaToH, he's fighting back.
He's doing his best not to let anything affect him in this game, and that's another villager shanked to death there by TaToH. He's just getting every kill he can here, making it as worthwhile as possible, and TaToH already with the 6 villager lead, and looks like he's ready to make his transition there. And second archery, or first archery I should
That's
say,
his
from
first
TaToH.
archer range, yeah. And already has 400 gold, so that's kind of him going for archers, not really the intuitive unit if you think about Slavs.
Ooh, and what have we got? TaToH, I want to say being greedy, but at the same time, he's pretty much locked Fire down. Obviously, he's lost all his military now, but I think everything's kind of cruising around, so he isn't too worried about taking the deer at the front. Blacksmith, and going for a market, actually. Looks like he wants to kind of even up his economy with that gold a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, castles often say like, yeah, he lost all his army here, but he actually lost all his army. He's at 0 military and only now starting to some production of some archers.
But the military he did have, how effective was that? He got every dollar's worth out of it.
Absolutely, and now villager trying to go for some random quick walls, or not too random, just trying to zone out a bit. The market will go up. Thing is, what is his transition afterwards? We don't have a blacksmith yet.
What does he want to try and achieve here? Obviously the market, just to balance out the economy a little bit. And looks like that one shouldn't be able to deal with too much here. We'll be able to get back to the tower defensively without worrying too much. A forward barracks from Fire. Fire's not done with his aggression. He wants to push this even harder.
And that's back to only 1 barracks, right? So
Yes.
that's potentially some eagles. Let's take a look at his resources. Has not the greatest gold, only 3 villagers in gold, but heavily on stone. So that actually should be a tower rush for me.
Yep, there we go. Right on point as always, Nili. Tower comes down at the front there. Going to try and deny a couple of those farms. Give him, of course, a staging point to utilize those men-at-arms. And like you were saying, if we see some eagles behind this as well, just to get into the economy, try and cause some ruckus. There's TaToH. Ooh, I really thought he was going to lose a couple of villages there. But no stone from TaToH to be able to build any defensive towers from this.
Look at that, he's just short of 169 gold. He needs to buy himself a tower, and he's just running. And giving up those 3 farms, which had a lot of food. Look at that, they
Ooh.
were just seeded.
This is really good for Fire, actually, in coming back into this match. He is still behind 43 villagers to 36, but he does definitely have a military control now, and these towers are definitely allowing him to take a lot of map control.
And the next tower here, this is going to be really ugly. TaToH is trying to come over 4 archers, shouldn't really do too much. If we see some skirmishes, and we see 3 skirmishes,
There's
now
the eagle.
and now we see the counter tower did by himself that 100 stone that we wanted to see. Fletching against no fletching. Defensive tower will be annoying regardless.
Oh man, this is just absolutely starting to look dire for TaToH. He's losing map control here. The Eagles, of course, able to get into the economy. Lacking a lot of the upgrades, but scale mail on the way, so we'll be able to start beginning to deal with those archers quite effectively too.
Can he maybe do some damage with that counterattack? I don't see Fire with too much of a defense. 1 defensive tower here, but those villagers, they look pretty exposed.
And then you've got the scout there as well, so we've got the option for blocking, we've got the option to run them down. And Fire chooses to fight with the villagers. Not exactly sure in terms of what the plan was there, but TaToH, a lot of scouts out in play. He's also got the archer, so he's got a pretty good combination going for Feudal Age.
Uh-oh, and that bought him a bit of time for that watchtower. Remember that the villagers have an extra defense because we have the Inca bonus here. Another defensive tower here for Fire. One will probably die regardless. And those archers, can they sit themselves down here? No, he's trying to run around.
Oh, and there we go. Is that another defensive tower getting powered up by Fire as well? Looks like he wants to leave his economy pretty much as untouched as possible, but considering how the game's already gone, it might be a little bit too little too late. Aggressive tower going up as well in the middle of TaToH's base, slowly going for that full encirclement.
Yeah, he is leapfrogging himself forward. Even more defensive towers. And look at that Inca bonus. How did he get? Where did he get all that stone from? He even has 200 stone left.
Man, he's been on stone a while, but that's it. I guess the Incas, it's just proving how they're such a valuable civ in this state. And again, archers from Fire, archers from TaToH just getting pushed away by those towers. Fire slowly managing to get a secure hold on his eco, but still 7 idols for both players.
That idle TC, idle villagers here. Fire's macro, just not on point. Look at that. We didn't see so many villagers. We saw 3 over here, I believe. But that shouldn't justify being behind by 12.
It's such a big difference. This makes things really, really hard, actually.
Okay, no engagement for a small second, although it looks like TaToH is trying to go for it. He has a good idea where Fire's army is. Where is he heading?
I'm a little bit confused by this. We've got the Eagle Scouts there as well, so it looks like they're looking for an engagement against the Archers. Of course, the Scouts, they can fight the Man-at-Arms, but the numbers game is probably going to be the biggest issue here. Gets on top of it, and we're just looking for a good engagement here from either player. And the Eagle's beginning to try and get the hunt down, and Fire is looking pretty good, so TaToH's going to have to be out of there. And, oh, that's a stand ground if I've ever seen one.
Oh, loses one scout there quite unnecessarily. Another archer going down, now trying to run. This will be 4 scouts left. I'm expecting TaToH to have the resources to click Castle Age pretty soon.
Very close. Of course, he does have that marker down, so if he does need to balance, he has the option there as well. Obviously not the exact approach he wants to take, but it can be used if possible.
Now goes also for wheelbarrow. Beautiful for Slavs. Look at all those farms. Needed to delete some at the front, but actually kept those alive, although the tower went up here, so nice defense by TaToH. Now going for stable number 2.
Whoa, number 2. This is starting to look rougher and rougher for Fire now. He needs to find a way to do some kind of damage to TaToH. 8 villages ahead. And that's 3 towers in the same spot, not making things easy at all. Eagle's trying to find a situation where they can move in, do some damage here, but look, the scouts are there ready to go, but this is quite a few Eagles from Fire. If he can get them all in the same spot and do some raiding, could really help him out.
Well, he's trying to go for the double rating here. Look at that at the top. Scouts defending that though. We have the defensive tower set up. And Fire, he's not having any attack upgrades. So the damage output not crazy. And this army, it looks like could easily be destroyed by 2 to 4 knights.
That's it. We've got bloodlines on the way already. The secondary stable's already up. Slavs, as we know, amazing civilization for this fact.
Oh man, the eco just so good. I always hear at the sitting over at the couch like MBL like, how does he have the resources to click up to Imperial Age? Slav are so broken. The eco simply is incredible.
It's absolutely great. Really, we can see TaToH's using it as best as possible here. And look at the scouts behind. Again, stand ground. But look at this. Fire not reacting in time. Will lose a lot of units before he even does start to engage the scouts. And pulled away from the tower as well. Tower weighing in on the battle here as well. And this is what happens.
And for TaToH, it's totally fine to trade scouts against eagles here. Because he doesn't really want to go for scouts. But Fire losing eagles hurts him way more.
That's it. The mass doesn't matter quite so much for TaToH. Whereas all the upgrades would affect these eagles.
But and goes for the final kill. Now reaches Castle Age. Resources for Fire are looking good to click Castle Age now, but only now going for barracks number 3. But another raid here at the top. That tower is still very annoying at the gold.
It's doing a good job of doing what it does, and that's just avoiding areas. So TaToH looks like he needs to figure out a way to kind of deal with this one. Of course, it will hurt his mass in terms of his stone count there. But look, he can't get his stone count in, but the gold is looking all right. He's got the early market, so he can begin to deal with this one. But the fire rating from Fire, again, just good.
Yeah. Good indeed, but, well, eagles are going down, all of them low HP, and those towers, they just do reasonable damage against Feudal Age. Eagles here. What's the plan for Fire? He needs to be somewhat safe. Yeah, he has a lot of towers to defend, but I think he kind of needs something more, because villagers and towers won't really like instantly kill all those knights, and that's not really the way to get onto high eagle numbers.
Well, how how are they really going to scare them off? A couple of spears out in play, though, trying to do what he can. But, oof, there's another one. And another one. And, oh, man, the villagers are even walling themselves here. Fighting the knights?
Oh, it's too... Yeah,
Look, I know they're Inca villagers, but that's some brave villagers.
Spearmen are around trying to help out, but that was another 5 down. Villager difference now at 9. I'm not even sure if Fire has no wheelbarrow over here, so that difference is even higher. Now enough spearmen to defend, but TaToH's eco should just be way out of this world.
In comparison right now, we've got TaToH, 10 villagers in front. Fire still yet to hit Castle Age, only a couple of seconds away, but again, just so far behind. We've got TaToH already, crossbow, a bodkin arrow, he's ready to deal with those spears. Fire just hitting Castle Age now at minute 34.
Look at how thin TaToH spread himself. It's knights +1/+2 bloodlines, and now also crossbowmen with +2 attack. He can't have a lot of eco. I think he will try to play this with heavy pressure here in mid-Castle Age.
Oh, I like it, I like it. If he can go for a push like that, keep Fire on the back foot here, because he's already got him going. If he doesn't allow them to boom up, he doesn't allow basically him to begin to steamroll with the military, TaToH's just going to keep himself in such a better place for the rest of the game. We can see, though, Fire going down for those key upgrades, Chainmail, Eagle Warrior, and Pikeman, so we'll have a little bit of an ability here to fight the Knights, but the crossbows behind it, if microed correctly, we know they can take out the spears so effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Those crossmen from behind will do so much. Eagle numbers aren't really that scary to buffer a lot, and it just feels like 6 crossmen will just take this out, or at least like can micro this so well. The tower might die in time, we will see about that. Not really right-clicking there, just patrolling with the whole group. Army of TaToH's coming over, and that shouldn't be a fair fight. Yeah,
that's not going to be what Fire wants to take, and look at that, some good micromanagement as well. Not letting the Knights into position, doesn't want to have to deal with those pikes against Knights, but the crossbows just pushing everything away before we can even see Fire begin to take the engagement.
Oh, he cannot take this one. Look at that, TaToH just debating, doing one hit, going back, kills pikeman, goes back. Now Eagles, okay, I will take that fight, and now he will swarm back again once the pikemen are coming over. Beautiful engagement.
This is what we want to see. This is some high-level Age of Empires, and this is what the zero lag does. Fantastic game. Fire calls the GG there. TaToH is one up in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, and that was a good game for sure by TaToH. It was a lot of pressure, right? He lost a lot of villagers to all that man-at-armor harassment, and let's take a look. I think that was my highlight scene of this match. Look at how he blocked that left eagle, left villager off. Beautiful move, and then he even went for the right one here. Isn't that pretty?
He gets 2. That's amazing play. That tower was so effective. It's a shame Fire really couldn't hold on for the rest of the game. TaToH just came in with a vengeance.
Yeah, but well, Slav eco after that was really nice for him, and it just felt maybe a bit more of the walls here. He kind of failed with the quick walls there over and over again.
On so many times, and that's probably one of the worst trends we've seen from Fire in this entire tournament. The quick walls have just been struggling, and I would really like to see him just get the walls down a little bit earlier so he doesn't leave that one quite so much to chance anymore. Just because, man, he's such a good player, and that's where it keeps starting to hurt him.
Oh god, KD. I didn't expect it to be so bad, but in the end, like all the pikemen, the Eagles, he didn't really get any kills in the last 10 minutes of the game, right?
Absolutely. There was just a point where he couldn't get in to take, he couldn't take the engagement. So crossbows just meant anytime he tried to move in and take it, he lost so many units on the entry to the fight that it wasn't a fight worth taking.
But like, if you're just running away, it's like, there are like 3 ways to take a fight, right? There is your typical, okay, I engage and lose the fight. I engage and win the fight. And then there's like, okay, I engage, lose a unit, and go back. I engage, lose a unit, and go back. And you don't even do any damage. And this is what kind of Fire was kind of forced into. Oh.
Man, and it's a shame, because we did see, even then, we saw TaToH kind of embracing that as well with the Knights. He'd move forward, get the one hit, move it back, but then he had the crossbows behind, which were cleaning up everything coming forward. It just made it so hard for Fire to get ready, but we're about to head into a game number 2. TaToH currently in 1 victory, Fire at 0, for we're only in the second game, and this is TaToH's pick. Seize the hump. Nili, tell me, what are you expecting out of this?
would have said I would have loved to see person, but like that's kind of one-dimensional here. TaToH coming up with creative strategies here while training with DauT to even qualify for this tournament, and I think TaToH will have a very clear plan. We have to remember this is TaToH's home map, and I think he could have had other really good home maps. So I'm expecting him to go for something with a very strong thought-of plan. I go for Malians for him.
There you go. But that's pretty much exactly what we expect from TaToH. Such an adaptive player that's ready to kind of move into it, get his groove on. He comes up with a strategy specifically for the map, and I would say that's one of his strongest points as a player. But TaToH, what have we got? The Malians. So TaToH in the blue, playing as the Malians, versus Fire, playing as the Celts in the red. We do have a West versus South game here.
And a very special creation here of Season the Hump. Most of the time, they are close together, and then the, well, hump kind of at the side. But this time, well, it functions a bit at the side. It's still fighting for the top here, but distances are a bit longer than most of the time.
I really like this, actually. I really like this map. Just because some of the ones we've seen, it's been such a kind of one-sided fight. Once someone's on the hump, they've kind of taken the win. Whereas this, it gives a little bit more option, because we still have that goal towards the south of TaToH's base, just on top of kind of the little hump there. So if you do get pushed off the main one towards the north of the map, you still do have something to come back to, but look, that may be talking an entirely different story here, because they have to survive the start before this even becomes too much of an issue.
I think if you are pushed from that area, this gold is never an option, right? if you're behind an army, like how do you protect that? Like 2 towers around or something? You kind of even need to box it in. This is a gold not really worth taking, in my opinion.
Oh, man. There we go. Shut me down, but it's fair. Look, I completely see that. It's a very, very low option.
Okay, now Celts against Malians. It kind of feels like we should see a man-at-arm opening here from both. What do you think?
Look, I think it's pretty much to be expected from both players, because early in the game, we can't expect them to lose any of this map control. The moment they lose that, the map is practically over. We've seen it in series after series. NBL versus Liereyy, both of them engaged fully. The moment someone lost the hump because they didn't have enough units to fight with, it was game over.
Yeah, and it just feels like Man-at-Arms is such a good unit to really start this off. This, by the way, is a beautiful mill spot for TaToH if he is scouting that and wants to go for it. Only sees the deer for now, so maybe he's just trying to push at home. Now gets spawn number 1, 4 on wood on his side. And Fire, he's already at the center.
Man, and that's probably 2 of the biggest differences we've seen between players on this map. It's whether you go for the lumber camp at home or whether you go for it aggressively on top of the hump. In the last series we saw Jordan versus Viper. I think both of them went for the defensive lumber camp at home, whereas eventually Viper managed to transition on once he took map control. However, in this case, we've got Fire moving onto the hump. Do you think there's a bigger advantage moving straight onto the hump, or do you think it can be basically either way?
I will give you an answer that makes me happy. I don't know.
Hey, there we go. We still have so much to learn on this map.
And this is the map that has never really been played in competitive 1v1s too often. So people are still figuring it out. And it feels like, yeah, building it at home kind of means like those are solid wood lines. Like this summer camp would be really funny, for example, in here. And so that's an option. But then how do you ever transition into the center? People still don't know.
I guess probably the strongest thing we've seen throughout this is obviously the strong man-at-arms opening. If you do have a civ where they kind of get that bonus, like Celts, obviously, you can chase down those villagers. They're pretty much the fastest units, like apart from scouts in Feudal Age, so it makes it very easy for them to be able to chase down anything, do the damage. Obviously, some well-microed archers can kind of outplay them, but it comes down to exactly how they get played.
And I thought man-at-arms, but this is going to be a drush, still not on gold here, so it will be potentially... Oh, that looks like 1 on gold. That looks like 1 on gold. This could be an internal drush.
Ooh,
This
I'm
could
really
be
excited
more
for this.
than 5 militias.
I'm really excited for this. It looks like TaToH's actually claimed some extra sheep from Fire there as well, and look, as far as it goes, getting him out of the map.
Yeah, tries to sneak them around here at the right-hand side. Knows that he just right-clicks them back to his TC. It's likely that they will get caught off guard here, and... now more militia. I think he really needs to wall the villager. I think it would have been a funny spot to just trap her in here.
Put the villager in from the get-go. I like it. But over towards Fire, he does have his lumber camp up on the main base there. He's getting an aggressive barracks down from him, actually. Going to make things a little bit harder to defend at home, because TaToH's drush is already starting to come in. And it looks like TaToH's noticed this one. He could delay it.
Let's take a look.
Is he
It's
going to bring
still
the militia back? He's going to
without
bring the militia back.
Nice quick walls for now. Two from the
Ooh, I like it.
right-hand side. But those villagers at the berries kind of exposed. He is getting them home, though. Or is he? Needs to move away. And at the moment, not a single farm. This will be food income close to zero pretty soon. Those two sheep lost. This is a tricky scenario for Fire when it comes to food income.
What can he really do? I guess he's got some hunt. Has he managed to explore much of the hump? Has he got a good edge on kind of the hump here where everything is? Or is he really kind of stuck on this place now? Because obviously farms will give you some food once you're up in a feudal age, but that's not something you want to be committing all your wood into this early.
Truly not. And well, I was also wrong with the 5 militia here. It will just be the 3 and then followed up. Oh, nice wall here. But look at those villagers blocking each other. That's some idle time.
This hurts, and look at that. TaToH, he's actually taking the fight here. Might potentially even get a village. That scout should be able to run it down. And there we go. Should be... There's the crack.
And also does some damage on the scout here and will have a reasonable feudal age time behind there. Look at that. 11-22. Not too shabby at all.
Will he get that last villager? Probably not.
I think he could have committed here. What do we see on HP? Well, I think
the scout is very low as well. Of course, Fire has kept his militia alive, so he will have a little bit more map control at this point in the game. But Fire is so close to transitioning now that he should be able to go for a little bit more of an aggressive playstyle.
And you just said it. It's so easy, or like he is about to transition, and I believe that's the main reason why TaToH didn't really commit to the fight here. He wants to have his scout alive. A scout? Probably more valuable than a lost villager here in this spot.
Well, that's it. He can see anything that's coming in. He knows how to prep now. He's got his walls up defensively around his gold. And look at that. He's seen the tower. He knows what's going on. And is that going to be villager out of there? Looks like he's not too worried about it, actually. Just going to move the villager out of there and make sure he doesn't lose anything. But secondary tower coming down. And that's going to be a little bit harder to deal with. There we go. He's deleted the walls and he pulls the villagers.
Yeah, and where does he go? It's not looking too nice for him here. How much gold did he collect? He has 56 in the bank, so he can afford man-at-arms. Is dropping off some more. Will be another man-at-arm if he wants to go for it. Still, the food problematic here. For Fire.
It's just been such an uphill battle from him from the beginning. And look at that. The men-at-arms are coming in towards the town center. I have a feeling they're not going to find too much to work with. In fact, actually, I take my words back entirely. TaToH's moved his men-at-arms now out across the map. And it looks like he might actually get caught off guard here.
Oh, Age of Gate Pyres flying in. But that gate won't stand for too long. Not really anything to shut that down. Needs to build another palisade. And then switches aren't too efficient anyways. And, well, scout around. And that's what I said. He's just scouting for weak points here.
And that's the thing, on a map like this, where it's so hard to wall, it's so open, and you're so far away from your town center, it's so easy to lose villages if you don't pay attention to it. And look at this, we should see the man-at-arms coming up towards, yep, there we go, on the gold, and I don't think Fire's seen it. They might even be able to block them in place.
That's 2 dead villagers instantly. He's at least saving the 2 at the top there, but that was some sick damage output. Saves those, but this is over top, Turkey.
Has he noticed? Tell me he's noticed.
He has no idea.
That's another 2 that are already ready to go.
And he just needs to...
Oh! That is tight.
Get that one at least in time.
You're giving me heart attacks here, Fire. Come on. But back at home, he's trying to do what damage he can. I still can't see a body of a villager. Can't see anything lost. Skirmishers, they'll be able to clean this up. Look, slowly but surely he'll get there.
Oh man, nice aggressive tower here as we saw earlier. One skirmish to defend. And look at the villager difference here. Brutal.
Oh man, for so early in the game, we're literally minute 14. We've got 8 villagers difference. TaToH having such a win here. And look at this. He's going to clean up these man-at-arms without too many issues now on top of this.
Well, it still takes some time. But he's not having any losses really. Expands more towards the center, is staying active here, but finally the hit squad of Fire is coming over and should potentially clear this up. 3 against 3 man-at-arms. TaToH not taking too much care here. This should be a nice clear up for Fire. 9 villages ahead. Fudeco looks a bit better now. Still stays on goals with 2 villagers here. Nice micro by Fire. Gets a nice clear up and will clear up all those 3 man-at-arms without a single loss.
That's really nice to see, really nice to see. But Fire, he needs to find somewhere to do some damage. And look at these walls from TaToH. TaToH is giving him nothing to work with here. He needs to climb his way back into the game. But I don't know how he's going to be able to do it. TaToH's just playing such a defensive style here, while also being able to move out at the right points and take any kill he can find.
Oh man. What's really the next step here for Fire? I don't really see Man-at-Arms to be too efficient. I think maybe the +1 defense upgrade can do something. Look at that 8 Man-at-Arms here.
Well, we've seen in the past, especially in the last Viper Jordan game, how much damage the Celt Man-at-Arms can do. You get the armor upgrade on them, you get the damage upgrade, and they can just absolutely walk through villages as if they're nothing. The problem is, though, that the fact that TaToH's already got his range out, so he has a way to deal with them, and with some good micromanagement, he can save a lot of his units very quickly.
Yeah, well, let's take a look. Oh, that's not the greatest engagement. Those Man-at-Arms obviously still pretty fast on their feet here. Skirmishers, well, they're doing 1 damage per shot, so that's not too scary. Still lacking fletching. We don't really have enough gold. And where is he getting gold? Oh, now take the one at the top.
I'm really liking this from TaToH. He's played such an excellent game this far, giving up next to and nothing for what he's been able to give. Trying to bait those Man-at-Arms back towards the town center, but Fire's having none of that. However, the dock from TaToH, but it will be denied by that 1 Man-at-Arm.
Oh god, I love TaToH so much because you have no idea, right? I knew when I saw this map, one of the first things was when I was checking, like, can you dock here? And yes, you could, and I felt like, I think no one will use that. Maybe except TaToH.
Except TaToH. I might need to go get my tie in a minute. We'll see how this goes. But Man-at-Arms in the lumber line there. Going to do some damage to the villagers, but look at that. Skirmishers come in. I want to say they're going to clean it up, but... Oh, but through the corner!
How did that happen? You aren't walled in. I will slap you across the wall. Bam!
Man, that was such a close play. Again from TaToH, but loses it there. Just out, and there's the 1 demo. We know the Man-at-Arms, of course, quite quick, but... as long as Fire can get onto that landmass there, he should be okay. Once he's on the shallows, however, TaToH has a lot of control once those demos are out in play.
Oh, man. What a funny kill there, for sure. Damn, don't tell me that this is happening. Oh, God, I already have
Move
this
them,
at the
Fire.
highlights.
Move them. Those...
Oh, God.
Oh, move the skirmisher. Get them to attack the skirmisher. Good bait. The bait's good. Come on, pull them out onto the water. That's what you're doing. Good job.
Oh, tell me.
Oh, no.
Don't go for it. And he's going back, and TaToH is getting the kill.
Oh,
God.
what?
This
Where's the horn?
Oh, God, gets the kill.
And that turns the game. Fire is out of there. Has to retreat home. What a play. 1 demo ship turns this around so quickly.
And now all the aggression is coming. Let's take a look at that one again. What a beautiful move for sure. And he is just coming over from the right-hand side. You see how he needed to retreat because the army was coming over, and he's just flying in and getting the kill. Boom!
That's so brutal. So brutal. This is what we expect from demos, and it shows exactly why the shallows are just... man, it's just an absolute key for brutality here. We can see TaToH trying to expand out a little bit more. He's got the tower to defend himself, but that's a lot of Man-at-Arms.
Oh, yeah, that will be some dead villagers. They cannot really get into the tower. Apparently some villagers are already there, and that are some losses. Yeah, low HP Man-at-Arms, but you can even take the tower afterwards.
Oh, this is going to be this is really good, actually. Really good for Fire. He's got a lot to come back with after this. But look at that. There's the overchop. We've got ranged units here anyway. This could be a lot of dead villagers. Look, TaToH may lose the tower there, but depending on how many villagers are lost here, it may not even be worth it. And fighting with the villagers as well.
Oh, God, this is a fist fight, and they have just taken off their gloves. Look at that. It's just madness here. That tower shouldn't really go up. Look at that. Against all these archers and skirmishers, that tower should never do anything.
How can that come up? And even then, we can see TaToH's patrolling around with his demo raft as well. Wants to make sure nothing's really going to happen here. Oh, man, that's it. Look, he can just have control. All he needs to do is take the fights in the shallows, and he can just obliterate an army in just 1 hit. And look, this might be the chance to even get rid of all the Man-at-Arms in play.
Oh, look at that. All of them so low HP, fighting under the towers over there, getting all the villager kills. And look at that. That's like 6 Man-at-Arms going down before the first real hit.
Man, and then again, this is the same thing we saw last game that you pointed out. He gets the attack, but then he's forced to disengage by the time he gets there. It makes it so hard to be able to fight an army like this. TaToH's micromanagement just proving to be so strong in this situation.
And that's simply not fights you can take, right? With some Man-at-Arms behind there, it could have been an option. And, oh, Goddy. What a beautiful and exciting game.
We got the demo ships, we got the Man-at-Arm aggression, we got villagers fighting Man-at-Arms. Like, what else do you want out of this? 42 villagers to 36, but the big number here being TaToH 24 military to only the 3. of Fire.
Yeah, he just decimated them so heavily here. Fire was trying to move in one by one, but look at that beautiful micro by TaToH. Just snacks them away. Villagers even thinking, okay, we can squeeze behind there, but the army's coming over and forcing Fire to tap out.
What an engagement. Fire can't be feeling well now. He was kind of gaming for the 3-0 in this series. He really needed it to stay alive. And look, he's had a rough series thus far. I really want to see Fire take one, but at the same time, I'm worried about his mental attitude at this point. Has he kind of gone into the point where he's like, this isn't doable? Or is he able to pull himself back up to do it and have a good win to kind of put himself on for the rest of this series?
A good win. Well, he needs to win 3, right? But TaToH just looked so on point, so creative with all his maps. And now I kind of know why he picked his nump.
Oh yeah, he knows what's up. He's got the tricks planned, and look, TaToH's one of the most adaptive players in the game. It's going to have all of these little tricks and tips kind of active, ready to go, and he's proved it time and time again. This map is no different.
Oh, look at Fire.
Oh.
He isn't feeling so great. Like, oh, God, that poor guy.
Do we have timeouts? Do we have tactical timeouts? Take a minute, grab a drink.
Oh, well, would really help him, but his dreams, like 2 series that he has no influence and 3 victories away from reaching the top 6 of NAC2.
It's a lot to ask, an absolute lot to ask. I really hope he has it in him to keep it more competitive, but at the end of the day here, this is, again, what we're running into. It's that mental fortitude. He's not looking happy with himself. Good news is he's having a little bit of a laugh now. He's got a smile on his face, so hopefully he's ready to go in, give him his all in one more game, and hopefully pull back a victory from TaToH.
What we love, I would really love to see that, because like his mental state is like, he kind of came here with hopes. Like I don't want to sound mean, but he seeded himself number 6. Like I did the seeding before and asked the players seed everything in. So he was considering himself to be one of the players going into the stage here, and he stayed every single night, came in early, trained his heart out.
Absolutely. And that's it. He was here at the nights. He was making sure everything felt right. He was getting the games in, making sure he was in the zone, really getting to feel. And it's just a shame that it really hasn't paid off for him thus far.
Yeah, but like, honestly, on paper, we have sick names in this lineup, right?
This tournament is just a highlights Golden Globe nominee of Age of Empires.
Yeah, we're kind of only missing some Chinese players, but it is kind of the who is who. And Fire, if we have to list the top 6 players in the world, even without Chinese, he's probably not on that list.
Look, it's definitely a hard thing to formulate, but I think you are right there, as much as it does hurt to say. But come on, Fire, we want to see you pull one out of this. Give us a victory. Give us something to cheer for.
He will have more experience on Flooded Cross, right? He played it throughout qualifiers. He's the guy with most experience over all qualifiers, getting into the finals twice. And, well, TaToH, he hasn't really played that to begin with. Obviously, cast a lot of games, discussed it with DauT, so he will know what's up. But maybe some adjustments could be a bit better by Fire because of his experience.
Absolutely, and it looks like we are ready to kick into the next game here. We are at game number 3, TaToH 2, Fire on 0. This could potentially end the series if TaToH secures himself another win, but Fire, we are hoping for the comeback special here. It would be nice to get to all 5 games, but we're just going to have to wait and see exactly how it does decide to play out. We are on Flooded Cross. Nili, introduce who we've got.
In the blue trunks, we have Mr. TaToH playing the Hunt. Not needing to build houses means he can transition so much easier onto water and land at the same time. And the red, we have Mr. Fire playing Japanese. Cheaper lumber cams and better fish is what he is aiming for.
Alright, not a map like this as well, for those that don't know. Lots of fish in every single corner of the map here. So those fishing ships are going to really make a big place in terms of their economy. TaToH, how are we looking in terms of his map spawn here? Doesn't look too bad, a little bit of a hill around, but look, this has started to become pretty common. But man, Fire is out for the lame. He wants to make sure he takes every advantage he can here. And look, he's 2-0 down in the series. I say go for it.
Look at this direct.
Right past the town center. Right into the town center.
What is happening here? Look at Fire's face. Look at how he's he was like,
And the worst part is Fire's already called his re. He used it in game 1.
He knows it's not. He's just running home, tries to get it into the scout line.
Not gonna happen.
Oh god, this is so evil for him. This reaction. That was just priceless.
It would have been nice to see, but sadly it just did not work out in his favor here. And look at that. TaToH is just hunting him down. He knows that scout cover is only a couple of hits away from death. And that boar wanders back to position.
Oh god, I want to take a look at his face again. Look at that, how he was screaming over there. He was going in there and he was just like,
no!
Couldn't really hold it, man. He was.
And look at that smile on TaToH's face as
Yeah.
well. He knew exactly what was happening there, and he would have such an advantage here from the beginning of the match.
Oh man, and I love those players around here and how much they're
Oh, those
enjoying
bore
their
for
time.
fire, though. Oh, man, that's a little bit rough. All the way behind the lumber there as well. Look, shouldn't be too much of an issue for a player to get, especially considering we're playing on 0 lag here, but it's not what you want to see.
And don't you think, like, I think the Viper just takes those 2 boars with the sheep block. But Fire, he goes for Loom.
Look, interesting. Definitely, I don't even know if I want to say playing it safer, because with the 0 lag and the sheep block, it means you're not even worried about the boar catching up to you. And if we got TaToH, it looks like he's getting ready to put his dock down there as well. Was getting his shorefish, and Fire going for the exact same style of play here as well. And that villager will get it back to the town center without too much stress.
And it looks like it would have even survived another one. 3rd hit now coming in, and yeah, we'll get to the CC before the 4th hit. So Loom wasn't really necessary here.
Whoop,
Well,
doesn't garrison.
We'll get a 4th one now because he wants to buy
Ooh.
himself some more time. Nice move here. Doc is coming up for Fire and for Mr. TaToH.
Pretty much exactly what we can expect. I really like the fact they're on that same line there. So we should see a lot of aggression between these two. Nobody wants to give away the water advantage because the fish boom is so strong if you can get up into it. You can start raiding your opponent's economy all you want, but they're just going to have that constant income of fish.
Distance kind of short. Most of the time we have them kind of crossed, on flooded cross here, and therefore along the distances. But here, just fire galleys could be a good option coming over, and Japanese fishing ships, they're quite tanky.
Look at that beef, 120 HP on them. Takes a long time for a fire ship to take them down.
Indeed, and here another boar now takes this one at that side from the wood line. Not sure if that bugged out or what happened there.
But hey, both the boar are going to be in. I don't think we're going to be looking at a loss here, or at least hopefully we shouldn't. I don't think Fire's that tilted. He is a very good player when it comes down to it. And looks like onto berries as well.
Why is that? Berries and fishing ships? That's something we rarely see.
Look, that's the bit that's kind of confusing me, and kind of the reason I decided to point it out. I'm not... My solid answer is I don't know, Nili. We'll have to find out as this goes, whether he's going for some kind of ridiculous food-heavy play, or if he's not confident he'll be able to hold the water and needs that little bit of extra food. But at this stage, there shouldn't be any worry on the water.
Yeah, I think this has to be something on heavy food, that where he feels that 4 fishing ships won't be enough. Normally we see man-at-arm opening, some on wood, some gold collected, but Fire, well, he will still have a reasonable uptime. TaToH's one looks pretty sharp though, 946. And we will write down that question. Professional interviewer Turkman here is like, why do you build a berries, although you already have fish? For example, TaToH is skipping that. We'll try to go for 4 fishing ships. Now the dock at the front. Send some villagers on gold. This will be man-at-arms from our hunt player.
Oh, it's pretty much expected, I would say. You did say a lot earlier as well. This is pretty much the constant opening we do see. Players are quite close to each other here as well. Definitely not in kind of that outer corner that we can see in Arabia sometimes, where we have the biggest rush distances in the world. But Fire going for those defensive walls nice and easy. TaToH is going to scout it, so he knows exactly what's going on, so hopefully... Ooh.
He wanted to go for
He wants it. He wants it bad. Sees the mining camp as well, so Fire has a lot of intel to work with now.
TaToH has a lot of intel to work with. now,
TaToH, my
I'd
bad.
say. Yeah, exactly. And, oh, TaToH sees open gold spot here. Maybe let's tower that. How should scout that, though? And Fire, he will be pushed away from his gold spot. Where are his gold spots positioned? We didn't even mention that. Look at that. Kind of open, and his 3rd one over here. This could be pretty ugly for Fire, and he is up a solid minute later.
And we've got TaToH coming forward with the villagers as well. So do we spy another tower? The answer is yes, we do. Right on top of the gold, they're going to be able to deny pretty much the only gold that that Fire has access to. TaToH doing a great job with his scouting to realize this.
But also a great job with the outpost. Fire kind of anticipating that this could be a tricky area to lose. Maybe let's get some vision here and try to see that we don't lose too many villagers. Is getting as much gold as possible, and once the tower finishes, he will get all the villagers out there.
Vacate the area. And it looks like extra wall off coming behind this as well. Man, Fire wants to leave nothing to chance here. Wants to make sure he can get everything he can out of these spots. But look at that. He's got no gold. And even then, he went for such a quick, aggressive play with the scout in terms of the ball lure. I don't know if he's got really enough information to know where the rest of the golds are.
Well, I don't know. Let's check. He saw all his 3 gold spots.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So he at least found all his goals on the way forward. So it's not completely going to be an issue there for him.
Look at that. He has 500 food in the bank. Is going for 2 fire galleys. And TaToH, this sneaky guy, already building the 2nd dock. And he was greedy with his fishing ships as well.
That's a lot of fishing ships in play. Generally, upon up, we kind of expect about 4, roughly. Whereas here, he's already on 7, and we've got the extra dock going up right next to fire as well. So he's going to have such a quick reinforce here. Plus, he's trying to pull as much resources as he can.
Oh, that was close. He didn't click the gate earlier.
I am stressing. I am at like 180 BPM right now. TaToH, oh, you're forcing these things in fire. You're just leaving it too late. Too late.
Okay, let's take a look. Now we have going for the aggressive mill here. Still all the gold control. Let's take a look if TaToH sees all the gold spots. And he only scouted 2, so he has no idea about this 3rd gold. So at the moment he feels like, okay, I delayed a lot, but he doesn't know if he delayed everything.
Oh, man, and fire moving out. Looks like he does want to take that extra gold. Obviously quite risky. He's so far away from the town center. But look at this. TaToH trying to find it, and it looks like he does back off. Will he see the villagers, however? Is that what he's going for here? Looking for that extra, and look at this. TaToH knows what's up. This is game sense, guys. We've been seeing this all throughout the entire tournament. These players do not leave anything alone.
Does he really know? Like, those all 5 villagers are unspotted. He only scouted that one. That could have been just a villager trying to go for a sneaky dock or something.
I think you might be right here. He hasn't followed this one up. It was good game sense, but didn't get everything.
Okay, so let's see. We have the stable switch now for fire. Makes a lot of sense with all the food he had. 2 defensive fire galleys losing a lot of HP. TaToH with very little losses. Villagers coming over trying to repair this one. Now 3rd fire galley joining the fight though. And I think this should be doable for fire. TaToH, is he queuing up more? Yes, he is.
And not utilizing that dock back home at the moment either. I guess at the same time, he is only worried about the 1 dock of fire, but look at this. Fire going for that sneaky dock like you were talking about, and TaToH is still scouting around the back, trying to find whatever he can.
And he can find the stable here. We have how many scouts out? 3. We'll go for some more. And arms are coming around. They shouldn't really do too much. Maybe even lose some HP to the fire galleys at the side. If TaToH is not taking care, let's take a look. No, but he's going back. What can the scouts do at TaToH's side?
Ooh, let's have a look over here. He's still very, very open. Knows where he's vulnerable, though. He's got the gold on it all. It's just entirely isolated now. His lumber, though, is still looking quite open. But look at this. The demos are out for TaToH. And tries to get the good hit there. Potentially going to lose it, but at least kind of connects. Not the best hit we want to see, but it's connected.
Goes for the +1 defense. And, well, only hitting 1 fire galley here with the demo is kind of a loss for you. And... well, those scouts, I don't really see them doing too much. Water fight kind of stable. TaToH still getting so much intel from this 1 single scout.
And here are the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms even attacking the fishing ships because why not, I guess? May as well do something with them. They actually get the kill on one of them, so trying to find everything he can. But those spears...
oh, they're trying to get some, but nice micro here by fire will get the kill. And he has +1/+1. That will be pretty brutal if he goes for some kills.
Here's the villager fight.
1 snagged. He goes for the other scout. Is having 1 loss. Is having 2 losses. That's not the prettiest thing for him, but I think he will still get those villagers.
I think he's going to get him too. He's dealt with the spear, which is the biggest problem here. Extra villagers coming across to try and get the fight. But at the opposite side, Fire's woodline under attack by the man-at-arms. And look at this, more scouts being pulled into the fight, or at least some micromanagement done there. And there we go, Fire sending even more out across the map. This is a lot of idle time for Fire, though. TaToH knows exactly what he's doing here. Get the hits, run away, and just try and just build up that idle time as much as possible.
And Fire is trying to wall this. Oh no, he's not trying to wall this in. He's just building a second lumber camp there. Felt like, okay, if I ran from over here, just invest another 50 wood. Might actually be more efficient than running over here the whole screen.
Yeah, actually not wrong there. And looking towards Fire's water again. Oh, that's a good hit on the demo. Great timing there, Nili. And that, look at how much that evens it up.
Smashed it away.
He is wiped, and TaToH's on his way up to Castle Age. This is not boding well.
And look at the resources of Fire. He is miles away from being Castle Age himself.
This could actually be GG in itself. He's managed to lose the water there. Good thing he's got a sneaky dock up towards the north. We'll be able to keep some of those fire ships alive, but I have a feeling that's where TaToH's going to be heading next.
But TaToH snagged that villager over here earlier on, so he might think that villager was trying to get to a sneaky dock. So it might be in the head of TaToH that there might be one around.
It's absolutely an option. Archer's in behind the lumber camp now, not making things easy for Fire, finding every single nook and cranny and just working for this game. TaToH proving exactly why he's such a good player here, and Fire is getting away with nothing.
Uh-oh, scouts
I
up.
said
back.
nothing, TaToH.
He isn't listening properly. Well, he is at least making one. We don't have bloodlines yet, and Fire, he has the resources to go for it, but actually he should be thinking about getting Castle Age. Resources aren't looking too great for him. He's even switching onto some skirmishes, trying to go for some defense, but those spearmen, they are doing a good job defending this.
The stand ground scouts as well, so effective when controlling, but the moment you leave them alone, it becomes a really big issue.
Actually, I was T90 saluting, but...
I know it was.
Okay.
I figured that was from the moment I saw it, and I'm like, let's do this together.
Okay.
But again, Archers in the back there, doing the best they can. Fishing ships just push from pond to pond now. And TaToH, he had such a lead before. It's so hard to come back on the water, especially when you're on less docks as well.
Oh yeah, and well, it's actually 2 against 2 docks, so that's not really a number, but yeah, snowballing is a real thing on water. TaToH is getting Castle Age and Fire. He's typing the GG.
Oh man, look at that. I'm so disappointed for him as well. He played such good games, but it just wasn't enough to get him across the line.
Oh man, and I feel a bit bad for him. And what is that's a 3-0, right? Yeah.
But at least he's having a good laugh there. He breaks out of it pretty quickly. He's a really happy-go-lucky guy, and I couldn't appreciate that about him more.
Look at that. Now he's like, oh, here, the walls are so tight. This side is real tougher. Like, I can't really expand my thoughts about the game. And
then, oh no, a demo ship.
And there's like nothing I can do. If I would be sitting over there, would have been so much better. And he had to wear the shirt. Fields. Fire, man.
It hurts.
It hurts indeed. We will take a look at the achievements in this game here. It was a short one. We had the strong man-at-arm opening from TaToH, the nice tower, Fire needs to run around, and the greedy water approach by TaToH just allowed so much because, like, TaToH could go for it because we couldn't really have the Fire galley numbers because we were so short on gold from Fire. And they will be coming over. We have the laughs in the living room. And we'll show you, I think the main scene makes a lot of sense. Showing you that, oh, Jordan is coming over.
Pat on the back for his teammate.
Indeed. Next series will be Nicov and MBL, casted by DauT and Jordan.
That's an exciting time.
Indeed. And the main event of the evening will be DauT against Liereyy, casted by Mr. Onlu and Mem.
Ooh, that's going to be an exciting time.
Indeed, and well, we are 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Hallelujah.
What? That's not meant to happen. We're meant to be here till like 4 a.m. because we have no idea what's going on in these games.
I'm sorry. Well, we can still, like...
I guess your planning
wait.
skills will have to be to blame. You thought
Yeah.
too far ahead.
two 3-0s.
Too organized.
Yeah, okay. Let's take a look into... Well, drafting is not really a thing. Maybe we'll take a look into Nili Math a bit. Obviously, now Fire out as well. TaToH is through, and he will play something between 3rd and, I believe, 4th, is trying to avoid, or therefore avoid it. No, he can't be 3rd. He will be 4th or 5th. So he is avoiding Liereyy, Viper, and MBL. You can ask him about that, can take over your questions, and we will jump over to the couch and ask the player, Mr. TaToH, how he feels with this great result. Over here, he has number 6 is unmuted. Take it away, guys. Oh no, I need to change that again.
Hopefully we've got some volume there from me and you. Hopefully. Looks like we are just swapping the camera real quick, 'cause we have had a little freeze. But give us 1 second, we'll be right with you. Convincing wins though, weren't? Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
So convincing wins, you had 3-0 there under your belt. Obviously, looking super strong from that. How are you feeling after such a convincing series there?
I feel really good. I think my worst game was in the first one against Jordan. And after all, I have been performing better and better.
Well, that's it. Has it just been getting used to kind of the new room, the new kind of setup? Because obviously it's not going to feel the same from the start.
Yep.
Did it take a bit to kind of get that one set up? Because everyone's been saying they have run into that problem a little bit.
Yeah, it's not the same like when you are playing at home, and also like depending on the computer you are playing as well, because the light is different as well, and everything counts.
Exactly. It makes such a difference. And it's nice to see everyone's kind of felt into their groove now, taking the time to get their setups. And from you as well, Fire, congratulations on a good series.
This
Sadly,
was fun.
didn't get there, but look, we had heaps of fun watching, and we can't thank you enough for the quality of games you've been able
This
to
one was
provide.
the most fun I had.
I had a lot
Look,
of fun
we
as
could
well.
see you on the camera. You were having a good laugh there.
Yeah, this one was fun. Like no pressure, just trying to do like funny. Like try to be like super aggressive. Something like usually in tournaments
Yeah.
you do like super safe gameplay or something. But this last board still the game was like like literally we were like right in front of each other, right in the whole map.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Like if you think about it, you should be a little bit more further away from each
Yeah.
other. At least
Usually
like
it's like that.
yeah.
It
So
was
I thought
such
I
a
saw the
close
goal. Like
distance.
he must be there, like a little bit further away. No, one screen difference, and I lost like 40 HP, 30 HP, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is over because my golds are there, like super exposed. Like I couldn't found all my food. So like if he goes aggressive, he took my gold, and it's basically it. And I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
it was coming, but I couldn't do much. I was dark age still.
Yeah, and probably going back to the first game as well, you played ridiculously aggressive from the start of the series. You dropped down that aggressive tower, denied the wood line. You got some amazing kills with the man-at-arms as well. The blocks there were absolutely incredible.
The winning game move when he took away my gold, and I didn't I couldn't see the back gold.
Yeah.
If I had a back gold, would be probably a different game. But when he took away my gold, my stone, and most of my wood with one tower, kinda he got brought the game back to him.
Yeah, exactly. You started out in such a good place there, and it's a shame to see you fall out of that one. But TaToH, obviously, amazing play from you to make something like that happen. You had the blocking with the scout kind of on the first board, tried to get that one. Then you had the tower come up in the wood line. At that stage, what were you thinking? Because you had, the 2 villages down from that, the blocking on the board as well. What was running through your mind?
Well, I was a slab, so I was still confident on my on my chances. But yeah, like I knew that I had to take to make damage on him, and his map was quite bad actually. If he didn't lame my board, probably he would have struggled with more because I could have been aggressive. But
Yeah.
laming the board, he delayed my feudal time. He forced me into the rush, and like I needed to make damage. That's why I went through the town center as well with
Yeah.
my Minatans and tried to kill as many villagers as I can. As I could.
Man, it worked out really well for you there in the long run, which is pretty much what you proved over that one, managing to pull the game back into your tide, and it worked out really well. So game number 2, we did have Seize the Hump, which is probably one of the most aggressive maps we've seen in the entire series. With the choice, was there a reason you kind of went for it? Because obviously we know Fire, you were playing around there, and I guess the question is as well towards Fire, playing against the king of the demos, did you expect
Nah, I
something
knew
like
it
that
was
could
like
kind of
that.
happen? It was
That's
just a
nah.
matter of time?
No, when I saw, I knew it. Like it coming, I killed a villager, but the main issue to me, that I didn't expect him with 3 more men at arms on the beginning of Field of Age.
Oh,
That
yes.
was the game-winning move.
All right, so
I
again,
killed 2 villagers. He forced me to like stay away from gold for so long, and I had to reinforce gold instead of reinforce wood, and then I can make ranges, skirmishers. That was the problem. I didn't expect him with 3 more because I killed 3, right? Damage the scouts. Okay, I'm safe now. I can do whatever I want, kinda for a while.
yeah.
And then he killed those 2 villagers, and
Became-
then
it
was
became a
like,
bit of a
yeah, then it
snowball
was struggle.
effect.
Yeah.
And I guess the question for you, TaToH, like going into that a little bit more longer, you did decide to kind of get those extra man-at-arms in there. Was that just to help kind of secure the position a little bit more because you felt that Fire was playing that aggressively?
Yeah, and because as well I scout all his resources, right? So I knew where I could make damage, and
Yeah.
as long as he didn't spot my barrack with the Menatans garrison, I could surprise him. Because he will be okay. He lost all the army. He will not have army in early feudal, right?
Yeah.
And then I went with my Menatans up forward and make the damage there.
Exactly.
And I guess moving into the demos as well, obviously that seemed like it was a key plan of the map. Did you get into it? Because obviously you scouted the dock there, delayed it a little bit more. At that point, we were like, oh, maybe I won't be able to go for this so much. Or we like, I'll get there and it'll work out.
Well, the dog was almost built, so
So not stressed.
I just built one. I was surprised that he still was there after.
Yeah, I was trying to get villagers like.
Well,
but
that's
yeah,
it, go
I should
for
have
it.
just stayed in the middle. But the problem is that the scout being alive for you in game 1 and game 3 like was key factor like to decide the game. I mean, like delayed me so much information, denied me so much information, and he got me like out of guard twice.
Yeah.
In both games. That's the problem. I mean, maybe sometimes killing a villager is not that important to kill the scout alive.
Gotcha.
Especially with a horrible map, or like game 1, or like crazy aggressive map like Ring 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And then
really good moves for him because he had the info and I didn't.
I guess jumping through to Flooded Cross as well, we had a little bit of a talk at that. Like the ball lure didn't really work out, but you went for it, and it was entertaining to watch. And that's half the point. We've had the best time watching this series. We got just about everything out of it. But TaToH, you gave him nothing. Every opportunity to kind of jump in there and snipe. We did see even Fire. You were prepared for this though. You had the outposts coming up. You were ready to kind of see what he was going for, find the damage, but you still managed to find it anyway. You just put the squeeze on. I guess question from you: how did you manage to achieve such a good game, mining and finding all these little nooks and crannies to explore?
Well, I saw that he was fully walled and mining that stone with the scout, and I knew that he was later than into fuel, so I had the chance. Probably if we were both at the same time, I will still make the tower, but probably he will have counter tower my tower, and finally he will have take back that goal. But in this case, delaying his goal that allowed me to apply more pressure on water as well, and I had as well the right side dock close, like the right side lake, so I could like build their dock and apply more pressure on water with closer reinforcement.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes a huge difference, and we saw that in pretty much the pond. You had the dock right on top of him, made such an issue for Fire, because of course he didn't have the defender's advantage, being able to reinforce. And, man, I don't even really know what else to ask. This has been a phenomenal series.
And also, like that tricky map, you usually got two gold spots together and one a little bit smaller in the back or in the sides, but I since I lost the HP on the scout, I didn't have that much information. It took so much time to find the other gold.
Yeah.
That I couldn't fight in both fronts at the same way. That's the problem. Because I can't even do ranges now because I need to defend water, so I need to go to scouts because I only spend wood once. That was the problem. Like, why we fight the scouts here, like against 3-4 spearmen? He like removes his demo shape out of the dock and he kills like my army. Even if I have more numbers, he kills me because you can't look at two things at the same time.
Well, that's it. The trades were just so effective, and I guess we've got to pay the credit there. You've done extremely well together.
It was fun. It was actually really fun.
It was.
Man, and that's what we love seeing, and it's what so much of the community loves seeing as well. Something will collide in one of the games and go horribly. Someone will just throw their arms up, have a good laugh, and then go, all right, let's try and get back into this. But thank you so much for coming to hang out, both of you. Congratulations on the win, mate. Fire, let's go have a beer and celebrate.
Let's go. Vacations now.
I can too as well.
You're on. All right, thanks for hanging,
Thank you,
guys.
bye.
It was good to see you. Awesome games, as always.
Thank you, Turman.
What a lovely interview here. Lot of laughs and happy faces. Love that. Series was scheduled to start in 70 minutes, but MBL and Nicov are around. They will set themselves up, so don't go away too far. I think we will, I assume, start in maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And also remember, the series will be casted by DauT and TaToH. Did someone message DauT that he needs to come here as well? I think he just expects like, oh, I have the last series. Okay. And let's take a look. As you can see, Nicov, MBL, setting themselves up. Fire, still with an okayish happy face. He is kind of out. We updated the Nili math file here behind. And you can see TheViper, he is top 6. And if Liereyy or MBL lose, he will make it into the top 4. Otherwise, he will be 3rd. And Jordan is out, Fire is out, TaToH will be 4th or 5th, depending on the other games. And now we see basically the same scenarios for MBL and Liereyy. They just need to win their series and should be pretty happy. And Nicov and DauT are also through, just trying to have a better seeding and trying to avoid the other player. DauT wants to avoid facing the Viper, so his win would be really nice. Nicov tries to avoid the Viper as well. The players losing there are in the tougher spot here for sure. Let's see how that all plays out in the end. And now this is the time where I can answer some questions while everyone is setting themselves up. What was the score? We can take a look at, let me take a, what we want to have. The brackets are the thing that might help you out as well here at the site. So TaToH 130, TheViper 130, the next 2 remaining series are over there as well. I will update the thingy here below as well. And this is going to be refreshed on all ends. Ba-da-bam! TheViper ahead by 4-1. Liereyy and MBL on his toes and might overtake him here if they win. And, well, as you see, TaToH, DauT, Nicov now just fighting for the remaining spots. So we know who our top 6 are. The fight for the top 2 is pretty important though, because as you all know, top 2 is directly going to the semifinals. Seed, or not seed, let's say placement 3 to 6 is fighting into the quarterfinals to continue playing in this tournament. I think we just have something going on in the living room as well. Is there someone arriving? We will see. And oh yeah, the guy in the red, my beloved Mr. Tushine, talking with Memb. Obviously they played each other like 18, 19 years ago as well. And Felix just with his first beer, and they are pretty happy. Look at his first move here. And Turkman just eating something well deserved too. Amazing cast by him in a row. And yeah, he didn't know about the cam. And well, he just arrived. Lovely, lovely guy. And this is the time where I answer some questions while we see how they're setting themselves up in the web. How does playoffs work? I just explained it. Top 2 going to the semifinals, 3 and 6 in the quarterfinals, trying to fight for the semifinals. Who has the best hair game going? Nicov. The Viper already seed number 1? No. He might even be 3rd. Biggest surprise so far? Probably, like, it's not the biggest surprise, but probably the most unlikely of all outcomes was MBL beating the Viper. But it's not like, oh god, my mind is blown. What do you think of the casting on last match yesterday? Great for insiders, a lot of people loved it, and your numbers were only slightly worse than the day before. Why is BackT not at NAC? Exclamation mark NAC, BackT will answer that question. Will we see Nicov casting sometime? Other players have casted. He didn't show a lot of interest, so casting is absolutely optional for all players, and that didn't, yeah. How's the gym? I liked it. Thanks for hosting an entertaining tournament. Thank you so much for your kind words. Wasn't a question though. Who's the most and least talkative of the 8 players? Most talkative, probably Jordan. Least talkative, probably Nicov? I think so. Who improved the most since NAC1? Well, like performance-wise, DauT is on another level, but that's not really his skill, right? It's more like his showing. And I think MBL is even sharper than in NAC1. I really like that. Were you a bit mad with DauT Fire's casting yesterday? No, it's kind of what I expected, honestly. I had a talk with them beforehand. We talked about it, like what I don't want on stream and what they were allowed to do, and they took a fine line there. You know that one moment when someone came in and told them to take it a bit more serious? That wasn't even me. I need a barber in Altona on Friday. Can you recommend one? Use Google, my friend. After having seen most of this group stage, whom do you think we will see in the finals? It depends a bit on the bracket, right? Because maybe the 2 I would pick are facing in the semifinals. It has to be Liereyy, MBL. Hi, shiny boy. Liereyy, MBL, Viper are probably the 3 favorites to go for it. I think 2 out of those 3, depending on who they face in the semifinals. Is there a delay on players cam now? Yes, 13 seconds. We will see more mem casting today. Yes, 1 mem cast, DauT against Liereyy, and he will also cast 1 quarterfinal and 1 semifinal. Are there any other players or casters you would have liked to have joined the event who couldn't come? Yes, I invited Mr. Yo initially, but he couldn't do it due to Chinese New Year, and we had like kind of 3 possible dates for NAC2. One was Viper couldn't do it, Liereyy couldn't do it, or Mr. Yo couldn't do it, and then I kind of had to decide who I couldn't have, and then decided against Mr. Yo. Fields, Chinese New Year's man, but that's okay. No questions to any of these 3, please. Will DauT and Jordan cast together? Yeah, the next series they will cast together. Do you think MBL has a better shot versus Viper than versus Liereyy? Mentally, yes. Skill-wise, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. While there are weights on the table, so it's shaking a bit less. Like the table, obviously it's my normal like eating table, so just moving the mouse kind of moves the monitor or the screen of the opponent. And to avoid that, I put some weights on and stabilize the table a bit more. What do you think about the outpost rush yesterday? Like I didn't have a lot of strong feelings about it, and it was a big talk, so actually for me it wasn't that big of an event. Is your kitchen large enough for all the cooking and the food prepared somewhere else? No, it's all happening here. We have a very good professional cook. Would you like to see Khmer again? Yeah. Did you allow Liereyy drink beer? It's allowed starting at 16 in Germany. Can you see the hum being used more in competitive AV2 scene? I find it very entertaining. Probably not, because it does rarely result into late games, and people will start hating on it at some point. Do you like when casters say from the get-go? Sounds like a good meme, right? Starting here. Why are you not making polls for the viewers so that they can decide who is casting the next game? Because I think that viewer decisions are pretty bad. Would you say no Piero, please? Whatever that means. Who will cast the final? We will see. Any seafood for meals? I don't think so. No. Do your neighbors know you have 1 week land in your flat? No. Lidl or Aldi? I think I have a Lidl closer by. That's why Lidl. What was it surprise to you that Liereyy has no clue how to kill organ guns? No. How many years will Liereyy need to take Viper's #1 spot? I think it's a motivation thing. Can we see players Buchholz? Yeah, exclamation mark bracket. What happens if all 3 players have 4-1 wins? Buchholz. Why not make Viper plus DauT casts? Viper didn't want to. Which player does not drink beer? I won't tell. Is the food halal? No. Well, some of it. Are people drinking less beer than last year? No. You think that can handle? Next NAC3 question. No NAC3 questions, guys. Would you eat hippo meat? No. Can you explain plain Liereyy Viper MBL triangle? I can switch the scene in a bit. Why is fire shirt? It's cold in Germany. Can you use the camera delay to show yourself twice on the screen? Yes, I could. Can you afford a new apartment? No. Bang, marry, kill. DauT, TaToH, Nicov. Kill DauT, marry TaToH, bang Nicov. Where you from? In East Germany, Berlin. But I was born in Saxony-Anhalt or something like that. Weird. Most underrated civilization, Portuguese. How many non-players or casters does it take to put on NAC2? 1, 2, yeah. Is the rent subsidized? Not really. I'm putting this room off taxes a bit, but that's kind of like my work room, like unrelated to NAC2, right? Halle an der Saale. NAC2, great NAC1 already? Not sure. Like NAC1 had a great foundation there. Yeah. How tall is DauT? I don't really know. Like 195 maybe. Who's the biggest winner of NAC2? I think Community and BBQTurkman. Community for sure. Any chances for mobile camera and living room interview with players? No. With the max performance in ECL recently, would you offer him next NAC3 question? Who underplayed the most this tourney? Nicov. Streaming your full-time job? Yes. Why are you sounding so bored when answering questions? Because I'm getting the same questions and over and over again. No, I'm just trying to answer as many questions as possible and don't really have time to put emotions in there. You? 10-minute break? And you want to fix camera stuff? Okay. Okay, so apparently sound and overlay guy wants to work here for your improvement. I don't really understand that. And so I will show you some of my greatest fails of all times, and we will see each other in roughly 12 minutes. It should be Nicov against MBL starting pretty soon. We are searching for DauT, and DauT is around. We are searching for Jordan to cast the next series. It should be pretty epic, and we will see each other pretty soon. I will just prepare studio mode, break video, window capture, no video capture, take that out and add those files, bam 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 bam, clash zuck, clear puff, chum padam, krish crash, and here we go. No? Yes. No. What? Don't get used to it. Aha. Uh-oh, one downhill hit. Uh-oh. Oh no! What a horrible situation. Oh god, was that bad. Oh god. Oh, fuck me. I saw the downhill. Oh god, and look at that. 3 hits. Again soon. Guys, that will be a great game to watch. At least for you. Okay, let's lame the villager. But he needs to learn stuff. Oh, Britons. No Magnals this time.
Correct. Willem. Bolden. Yay. Chopper.
Hunter. Yay. Ready. Yay.
Chopper.
Mandatum. Hunter.
Yo, chopper. Greeting chopper. Yo, hunter.
Yo, chopper.
Unfortunately, sad.
Mandatum. Yay.
Fuck it. Damn it. We wanted to pause at the same time. You can read one time, right? So let's just read. No point.
Yeah, you can read one time if you want.
So let's read, right? Shall we use the read?
You want to read, you can read. If you want to continue, you continue. It's your choice.
LOL! I was trying to fix my black screen, but it's just a non-scouted area. Oh, I wanted to fix my green screen.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we can pause till minute 4.
Not 3?
Yeah.
Oh, 4. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I was confused. Yeah.
Oh. So
What? You were trying to scout?
I was trying to fix my green screen and was so confused how in the middle of the green screen I could have like black dots, but it was just I wasn't moving my mouse at the map. Damn. Okay. Oh god. Expecting him to go for aggressive siege workshop as well. So let's try to catch that village off guard. Wants to build a siege workshop there. And now we can pull off this gold. Otherwise we get too much on gold. Oh no. Grass Topler on the tab, please. Oh god. Not even sure what's worse, losing all the CA there as well. Damn it, I need to go for barracks. Here.
Don't forget that green is also there.
Yeah. Oh god, I didn't kill his villager because he ran through my TC. And now he's stealing the boars.
Yeah, that's what you get for not killing.
Why didn't you kill it? Was before 3 minutes 30.
There is no rules.
Oh, no rules.
Jesus, you scared me so much here.
Yeah, you
I
scared
mean,
me.
really, you have to kill because they kill Will.
Yes.
They would kill you Will. Like,
What
you
the fuck?
Don't
This
do
is
that.
this is not a tournament. We kill, we lame.
Okay. Next time.
Yes.
The only rule is no TC war
Yes.
at start and no attacking villagers before TC is up.
And if you have bad start, just say TC war.
Yeah,
Here, I will try Grush down here. Possible.
I'm happy that you don't see my partner.
Yes.
It's like you painted
LOL!
Game Beaver specking.
And actually, I came up with the idea we can actually do both, right? I felt like, okay, I have to either answer questions or show you the living room cam, but I can do both. So if you have any questions, right-hand side, the new red guy is TaToH, probably one, like, my best Age of Empires friend. We've played together for like 15 years. And yeah, he just arrived today and will spend the next days with us as well. And he and Memb are crushing the two young AM boys. They will just finish their FIFA game and then we'll go over into it, right? We are 45 minutes ahead on schedule. They are playing FIFA against each other. And yeah, I just wanted to allow MBL to finish his game, and then he's more rested to jump into his kind of important series against Nicov, who's already warming up in the other room. Where are Viper and Jordi hiding? Jordi is in the kitchen, preparing with DauT. There's some strategy talk, who is taking the mouse, how they have the professional transitions, preparing some puns. Okay, if I say this, you say that. And yeah, just writing down all the band potential matchups and prepare themselves for the cast. Viper is not seen anymore. How's Viper's motivation? I don't know. Haven't talked to him at all today. Nicov is going to cast any series this week. Most likely not. Don't lie, they are drinking. What? That sounds like we are not waiting for 18 teams to the next game, but start earlier. Yes, we will. Like the timer says 5 minutes, right? Everyone is ready. As I said, it's just they were at minute 25 in a FIFA game that has 6 minutes halftime, and then I set the timer to like 11 minutes. So should somewhat be around that. That should be decided. It seems like Liereyy just failed and AVL can't take it. Whoever ends up third, do you think it might also be beneficial for them playing one more long series? No, not really. Having a day off would be really nice. Will cast Viper with this girl? No. Do you watch all the series? Yes. Are all PS4 controllers yours, or did guests bring their own? I have 4. Is that coming? Yes. What is with Steam AOE? Will Microsoft fix it? Why? Just play on Boobly, my friend. How old is MBL and how old is Viper? I think they are, like, MBL should be like 24 and Viper 27, but I don't really know. Should be around that. Are Nicov, TaToH and Memb abusing their Spanish? What do you mean by abusing? They are sometimes talking it, yeah. But like we have 6 German people here, so it only makes sense. I think they're free as well. Is Marco stopping by? I think he can, but I didn't hear from him yet. Will there be an ad for AOE4? Absolutely. Tune in, and if you don't want to miss it, just just watch every single series. Any chance that Donny shows up and cast a match? He won't cast, but maybe stops by, yes. Why they stand to play? Well, do you think Memb can't sit while casting Age of Empires, but can sit while playing FIFA? You don't know this guy. Third decider is Buchholz, isn't it? So Viper will be third when Liereyy and MBL will win their matches. Indeed. That's what this said. Let's take a look at the Nili math file again. So to see how important the other series is, TaToH is 4th or 5th. And you can see MBL and Liereyy both need to win. That means the Viper will be third. And actually, I could even edit that file there at the top. Let me take a look. It is not top 3. It is. Let me see. Since he already won, he's quite far ahead. Nili math, where are you? Where's the Nili math file? Main scene, there's Nili math. Oh, the new one at the top. So this will be top 3. This is actually third now. And top 2 if. Okay, so third, and the rest should be pretty clear from now. All the 4 remaining players are in the top 6. And just fighting for the better spots. Liereyy and MBL have chances to go into the top 2. Nicov and DauT just trying to win and avoid facing the Viper in their respective quarterfinal matches. Update MBL, TaToH already won. What? Update TaToH, MBL already won. Yeah, what? MBL didn't already win. going to stream more on this channel in the future? Yes, he will have some more casts for sure. What are the rules on showing AU2 and then streaming FIFA? What do you mean? Don't get the question. Who organized the public viewing? I did. Who will be number 1 seed if both MBL and Liereyy win? I think it will be Liereyy. Do you think MBL has better chances in the finals versus Viper than versus Liereyy? It feels like it, right? Who will cast the final? We will see. Sometimes players who is playing next game is casting current game. Avoiding this can save some time to get ready. Well, not really. It's just like how they prefer it, and I don't really mind to have some more delay. And you see, the mood is good here. Those are your casters already getting prepared here, and now they are coming over, and we will set them up. It should start any minute. Their game finished, and well, I will play you some music of my people. We will set those up with the cables. I will answer some more last questions. Is there something you changed from NAC1 that you wish you had kept the same? Probably not. Who will face Viper if DauT and MBL both lose? Well, then Viper will have a semi-final, right? So we don't know, because then it depends on who is advancing in the quarterfinals. Possible to stream their FIFA skills at night? No. Tell us about Outpost Rush drama. There's no Outpost Rush drama. Well, Fire owns a jacket. Yeah, I think he even bought it, or like got it from his uncle before they came before he came over here. They are playing FIFA, yes. And oh, DauT is ready. So they will start instantly.
Okay, guys, can you hear us?
Yes, Simon. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, DauT. I think we will introduce the casting by a good old.
Yeah, like the last year. Was it? Yes.
I like the last year, guys.
We used to hear Viper last year.
Yes, he's kind of absent right now.
Yeah, I maybe saw him once when we played, basically. Not sure what he's doing.
You know, he's a busy man. It's understandable.
I can't read this position. Somebody left door open. Nili.
Guys, DauT is already
nothing
going hard here.
Trolling. He wants to get me from behind. Yeah, I'm not invited. Okay. Okay,
DauT.
Well, I guess this
I think we have something to spectate here. Nili is taking DauT from behind.
Yes, seems that way.
DauT, how do you like it? It was something different for a change, right?
Don't push it, man.
Look, man.
Don't push it. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. DauT, how did you enjoy our yesterday's draft?
Oh, the funny one.
Yeah. How? Tell the viewers. Was it good? Was it the best draft you have ever had?
It was amazing draft. I wish every player here is like you. It was really, really solid.
Guys, I think, I'm not sure if you've seen that yesterday, but I felt like DauT has never ever been that uncomfortable.
Get close to Jordan.
Oh, that was so good. I looked at him
pushing your leg. I was so uncomfortable. You're blaming me, and
that was so good. I think I have never seen you that uncomfortable.
I was confident. I knew I would win easy.
I looked at your face and I just saw fear. Like
no, because you're focused and you don't care. That's the risk combination.
That was so good. You're like, don't lose to Jordan. Don't lose to Jordan.
I will be knock one over again. Knock one over again. Not even far is enough.
Oh man, guys, that was good stuff. Whew. So DauT.
Yes.
We have MBL against Nicov now.
Yes, we do. Oh, then I'm playing as well after.
Oh, you're playing after?
Yes, I am.
I think we have to prepare.
That's only for important matches. This match changed nothing, at least for me. If Liereyy beats me, maybe it changed for something, but if I win, I think I'm still last.
The funny thing is about DauT is he plays better when he had some. That's true, isn't it? When he had some.
Yeah, like, when I have some, I play better.
You're more chill after that.
Yes.
It's really relaxing for your body as well.
You will see my micro. You will see the mangonel micro targeting my own TC or something.
Yeah, I know. So, DauT, what do you think? What the
about rifle? What?
Not what? About
what?
About having some.
Like Viper. Viper is coming. Focus. Nili will kick us. He's behind us. And
no,
wait. He's never behind. He's like going chilling in the living room. Now he's behind. And
oh, DauT is involved. I have to be in.
He always babysit me when I co-cast.
Oh, it's too good. Okay, DauT. So, what are your predictions for today? And Nicov against MBL.
Liereyy will win, most likely.
I meant Nicov against MBL.
Oh, that I don't care.
Okay, we are about to cast, but who cares?
No, MBL is playing so solid.
MBL is playing serious, solid. Yes. Okay, so we have to wait until MBL is joining the room. Drafting, okay, drafting. Let's check. Oh, that's the drafting scene.